If you need cheap codes or cheap games, head on over to g2a.com. I'll leave the links down below in the description. Remember to use dirty at checkout. What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike, and today is the defending tutorial. You better drop a thumbs up. Stop what you're doing, pause the video, drop a like, get in the comments. If you have questions, I want to read through those questions. I want to go back and forth. I have been working on this video for quite some time, and I hope you enjoy it. I should call this the mind of Mike, at least when we're looking at some of the defensive movement, the approach, the structure, the all of the above. I'm making this tutorial where you guys understand what I'm thinking. I really wanted to give you my thought process when playing defense, when looking for traps, how to bait your opponent, just general structure, how to step and sit back, when to look for the through ball, when to try to pressure, all of the above. Hey, don't skip ahead. You need to hear out this intro. Defending is not universal. There's not one way to play defense that is gonna be effective. And that's why I have many clips that we're gonna cover together that show different sequences, different scenarios, and at times you're going to need to apply multiple defending techniques. As I grab the air, the top 2 ways to improve your defense right now. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't even got to the clips. If you can hold possession better, you have the ball more, that will improve your defending. If you can eliminate some of your poor mistakes, your poor giveaways, that will also improve your defending, because these are gifts. Don't be Santa Claus. It's not even December yet. Defending at times, it parallels with playing tennis. Whoever makes the least amount of those unforced errors, they typically win the game. They win the match. They win the set. Also, the best time to pressure is when you lose possession. You've got a lot of players up the pitch. Your opponent, he doesn't know where to pass. He might be flustered. And when you regain possession in the attacking area, you're gonna make chances. You're gonna make opportunities. You're gonna win games. Let's get into the examples. Remember to let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any other techniques that you want to see added into a future video, maybe we'll do a part 2. Drop a comment. We're starting out with the kickoff. And I made a video dedicated to how to defend kickoffs, but on my Twitter, on my Facebook, in my YouTube comments, people are asking. Still, that means you haven't seen the video, and I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm not gonna be offended. And I'm gonna incorporate at least one example, and we're gonna talk about it in this video. How do you defend kickoffs? And you might not like it, you're not gonna make friends doing this, but it is the most effective way, and it's not your fault. Think of it like that. It is not your fault. EA, whatever they implemented into FIFA 18 on kickoffs, the offensive team clearly has an advantage. No debating. Watch Ronaldo. And the first thing that you got to do is grab an attacking player. Someone who plays up top, maybe as a center attacking mid, a winger, a striker, someone who's gonna not normally help you out on the defensive end. Logically speaking, got another body now. He's gonna play as a free safety. If you watch American football, you understand that reference. If not, you are entirely lost, but he's gonna be able to roam. So get your attacking player. I'd prefer someone that's tall, that's athletic, that's fast. That's great. Push your opponent outside. Defend the middle with your life. You're going to war, defend it with your life. And if you get an opportunity to take a foul, or you can force a throw, and even if your opponent keeps possession, not a big deal. It resets this glitch, this bug, this algorithm, whatever EA has done from kickoffs, it resets them. And last but not least, and this is very important, you must dedicate to not necessarily switching off your roaming player, your attacking player that you've chosen to help you out. And if you do switch off, be ready to switch back to him, because otherwise he's going to naturally drift right back up into that attack, and he's no longer going to help you out. Now we got the sidestep, and I like this maneuver. I like this method. It's a technique you see often if you're going up against somebody that's very good at high pressure. They are using a lot of sidestepping, and they're combining it with the teammate contain. So we have a double team, and you're feeling that pressure. So in this freeze frame, I've got Valencia. And I've also came from the outside. So my opponent probably thinks that I'm trying to take away the wing, but not necessarily. That's what I'm showing him. And then I'm going to sidestep just a tad bit to the inside where I think he's going to make that pass. And in this case, he does make that pass. And it's very minor. You might need multiple freeze frames to really and truly see this, but it's there. And this is why those players that excel in high pressure, it's different for some people. A lot of people can't do it well because they're not doing the bait and step right, where you bait somebody outside and then you do just a little sidestep here, a little sidestep there, as if you're in the club and you're dancing and you're not getting too crazy with it. You're staying in your space, okay? Just a little sidestep. I know a lot of you guys can two-step. It's not far off that. But you're going to make a little step to the side that you think your opponent's going to make that pass. And if you time it right, often you will get a deflection or an interception. Both are good for you on the defensive end. Now we got coverage. No, we're not talking about insurance. That's not what I mean by coverage. I'm not talking about a raincoat. No, no, no. We're talking about chasing back here. And in this example, I think I've got Vidal, and I'm using the jockey at the same time while chasing back. And I'm just trying to slow down the attack in this example. I want my opponent to not be able to go forward quite as easy. And actually my opponent rushed and gives me the ball. That's a big mistake. Normally that doesn't happen. You might have to chase back with a player and actually make that manual tackle at some point. However, the idea is to slow down the attack, to make things more predictable, make it more difficult on your opposition when he's attacking. Can you disrupt the middle? That's what you're seeing. Freeze frame number 2. The goal is to disrupt the middle. You've got to stop your opponent from having that triangle of an attack. That's a problem. That's not good for anyone. If you're going up against somebody who uses a 4-1-2-1-2, a 4-3-1-2, even a 4-3-2-1 without the triangle, but those 3 attackers, they're trying to go inside at some point, and you've got to sit on that. You've got to slow it down. And people watch my videos sometimes, and when I make a video talking about running back or using the midfield, then there are those guys that don't do anything else. I don't know how to tackle. No, I don't know how to trap. I don't know how to use the teammate contain. I don't do any of that. All I do is grab one defender, one Conte, one Bakayoko, and I run them back. I am not preaching that. And in these last examples, you're seeing me just use a couple players to try to cut the angles. It's all about trying to pick your moment. Can you get the interception? Can you get the tackle? Can you make it harder for your opposition to score goals? And you're trying to make sure that you're catching the rhythm. If you're playing at the speed that you want to play at, you're going to win games. It's that simple. As we get into player switching, and so many of you ask me, Mike, talk to me about player switching. I'm struggling. I'm not very good at the right analog stick. Now, first, you need to master that right analog stick. Do not quit on that. And in this freeze frame, understanding recovery. What does that mean? Understanding recovery. I get smoked. Dybala, he's by me. But I do have another chance, and I need to switch right now before that chance evaporates, before I'm no longer able to move that player over in time and Dybala is gone. I can cut this angle. I can make him do another skill move. I can slow him down. I can make the tackle. Something's going to happen. And that's with understanding, of course, the right analog stick and player switching. When is the time to make that switch? When is not the time to make that switch? You name it. I think we do a good job here. I appreciate it, Valencia. And if you want to really improve your player switching, you have to have a mastery of that right analog stick. I use it probably 70% of the time. And that's just me. Practice, please. Practice using it. You got to get over the hump. And small movements matter. You already saw that I showed you guys an example of getting an interception with a little sidestep. That is relevant. And as you move your players, even if you're moving a bunch of players just a little bit all over the pitch, it almost makes them a little more active. They've been activated. They're going into the army. They got active duty now. They're no longer part of the reserves. They feel like they're gonna be involved. Make them active, okay? And I'm not perfect. Nobody is. No professional player always switches to the right player. So don't think that just because somebody's good at the game that they don't make the same mistakes you make. They just don't let it get to them. They keep switching till they get the guy they need to have. It happens. As we move into the instant press. And I spoke about this in the intro, but the best way, and I mean this, the best way and the best time to press someone is right after you've lost the ball, because all your attacking players were in that attack. And your opponent, maybe he wasn't ready to win possession yet. He doesn't know what to do with it. He might be a little bit flustered. He's going to rush a little bit. He's feeling the pressure. He doesn't have as many options, most likely, because his attacking players aren't up the pitch yet. So this is your time. And even if you want to be a passive guy that runs back players and just sits with a deep back line, even for you guys, I don't like playing against you, but even for you guys, you should pressure when you lose the ball and then go do your little passive, run the guys back, whatever that might be. I don't think it's a very fun way to play FIFA, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not making a video to rant about our park the bus or our counterattack opponents or people that play like this. That'll be for another time. But you should definitely be pressuring after you lose the ball. It's in your best interest. As we go into the structured swing, and for the structured swing, I've always taken so much pride in being someone who plays FIFA with an organized plan, with having structure. I don't like the YOLO. It's never been in my best interest to be pressuring everywhere on the pitch. I want to make sure that I have some different methods, and I'm playing mind games with you a little bit. And this goes back to the tennis reference. This is where I'm not necessarily forcing a mistake, but but I'm doing a good job moving my defender side to side, or my midfield side to side. I'm making the right decisions. I'm making it hard for my opponent, and it's a battle of unforced errors. Does he make a mistake that maybe I didn't make that tackle? Does he feel a little bit rushed, a little bit uncomfortable? Does he not know where to go? Or did he just have to make 3 more passes than he expected to make, therefore one of them didn't connect? And it's that simple. The structured swing, move your player side to side, have patience, and that's why we always talk about patience and composure being so important in FIFA, is because plain and simple, once you get tilted, once you get angry, once you start rushing, it's not good. Offensively, not good. Defensively, not good. Plain and simple. No debating. As we get into the double back, a little more of an advanced technique, but I love it. Been using it for multiple years now. I would definitely recommend implementing this, sliding this into your gameplay. It might take you a little bit of time to get used to doing it, but we're looking at the chase back, and well, maybe not the chase back. You're chasing to cover a runner, covering some sort of through ball opportunity, and at the same time, as you see here, I think I have Vidal again. I'm trying to make sure I can cut off this through ball, but at the same time, I'm holding the teammate contain button, and that's whatever you're using. I think default is R1 or RB. I do not use R1 or RB if you've seen my controller video, but what that does is it tells the nearest player to step to my opponent, whether he's got an attacker, he's got a midfielder, he's got even a defender, and then it allows me to manually try to intercept the through ball. And this works really well if you go up against somebody who plays striker to striker through balls. So you have one guy that steps and covers up his lane, and then you're running with his other partner in crime, whoever the second striker might be. And if this is somebody that doesn't have the complete games, not doing a good job with patient build up, oh, he's going to start to just give you the ball over and over again. He's going to give it away. And you're seeing some RNG here where I got the interception and I just didn't overtake possession. And that happens. That happens in FIFA. You can do everything right this year, and every once in a while you just don't get it. Don't let that discourage you. It's just one of the downfalls of FIFA 18. Now we're going to look a little more in depth on how to tackle, and more so when to tackle, what to look for when you're making that tackle, when to dive in, because tackling this year can get kind of crazy. In fact, a lot of times I like to run into my opponent as opposed to actually using the tackle command, just because if you miss one of those lunges, it puts you so far out of the play, especially with a midfielder, that it's not worth it. You'd be better off running into the player. However, with a defender, if he's on your line, he's in your final third, you most likely gonna have to make a tackle here, okay? You can't just sit back and wait. I know a lot of you guys want to be passive. I've seen you. I play against you in FUT Champs. That doesn't beat the good players, not the great players, not consistently, no chance. So I've got 4 keys to tackling. Number 1, understanding the meta. This makes it easy to anticipate what your opponent might want to do. Oh, if he cuts inside here and does the finesse shot, that goes in 9 out of 10 times. We can't let that happen. You got to understand that, oh, this is a driven shot location. I got to cover that up. 2, the matchups. Do I have a big physical player versus a small guy? Are we both small and fast? You have to understand the matchups that you've got going there. And then you're dealing with timing and, of course, composure. And timing is crucial in any FIFA installment. As you see a matchup example, I've got Boateng, and he has, I think that's Gomez. Gomez is very small, he's weak, he's fast. He's in the Serie A, or the Calcio A, if you don't know it as a Serie A, and that would be embarrassing, but I'm just throwing it out there. I know that I'll win that matchup. He takes a big touch. Okay, cool. I'm going to put my body between the ball, the player. We're going to overtake possession. And then I talk about composure as well, because if it's at a late game situation and now you start rushing, or you're no longer making the right reads because you don't have that composure, of course it's going to affect your tackling percentage. Yeah, damn right. The last example that we're covering, timing equals the key. And it does. Absolutely. DJ Khaled would be proud of us right now. And in this freeze frame, it's a little bit different. I'm starting to step. I'm going to go for the tackle. However, even if I don't get it, I know that I've done good here, because I've thrown off his timing, and now he no longer has the place to make the pass that he wanted to make. He could have possibly gone backwards, but I was either going to get a tackle or a rush pass. Both of those are good for me. If you enjoyed the tutorial, please drop a thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I'd love to have you here. Subscribe. It is free to subscribe. I'm looking forward to the comments, and I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.